Got a Shovelhead motor in here today. Pretty nice motor. It's been sitting for 15 years, somewhere around there. So the guy just wants to make sure it's ready to run. We're going to do all the gaskets on it. It's going to be similar to the Evo video. Do base gaskets, head gaskets, all the rocker gaskets, push rod gaskets, lifter gaskets on this one. Yeah, and this one's going to get a thorough inspection though. The heads are going to get redone. I'll bead blast them on this one, get them looking super new, repaint the barrels. Only thing I'm going to do before I start, I'll come in here with steel wool and clean the cases really good. Give me a good starting point, and then when everything goes back together, it'll look nice and pretty. Yeah, so let's get started. Just got the Shovelhead cleaned up. You can see how the cases came out. This thing was really dirty, so it's a lot better than it was. The big thing with cleaning these motors, though, I always want to do it at the start usually, and then you got to make sure it's clean so when your customer picks it up or when he puts it in the bike, you can see if there's any leaks. You know, so when he starts it, you'll know. When it's covered in oil, you never know where it's coming from. His main concern was he thought that the cases were leaking through the seam. I don't think they were. I think they were coming off the oil pump and just dribbling down underneath. So we're going to find out. Now the cases are clean. I can keep an eye out on that and watch for that. But yeah, I'm going to disassemble and get started. Those were by far the hardest shovel heads I've ever had to pull. I don't know if you can see it. No, if you can't see it. These were just totally covered in gunk. One of them each is just screwed. What a pain in the butt. But back at it, we're going to pull the heads off and give them a good clean and bead blast them. Alright, I've got the motor disassembled, pulled the heads apart. This stud, it was so dry, everything in there, it was really hard to get off on this. Especially with the stripped head bolts. Whoever put them on, they put them on their last leg. I don't even know how they got them on there. So we're here. Heads are all broke down. Guides look okay, nothing's cracked. I'm going to put all new studs in these because it was a nightmare getting them off. Clean all the boxes up, and then I was debating on re-ringing it, but I don't think you can see, but in here there's little steps. You can feel it with your finger. So I'm just gonna go 10 over on them, get some new pistons. There's a lot of, it doesn't look too bad now. There's a lot of carbon buildup on this bike though. So we'll do new pistons. Yeah, so I'm just gonna pull the jugs off and then I'll call it a day for tonight, or a night for today. It's like 9:30 now, so start back up tomorrow on it. This thing's been sitting for a long time. I've never, in all the older motors I've done, had something that had the bolts that were that seized onto there. So he's getting all new studs through the entire motor. Clean up with what we can, but even these heads, they don't fit. They don't fit right. Everything's a little bit off. So, yep, get the jugs off real quick.
I'm in love with the monosyllabic girl.
It's finally broken down. This was by far the hardest motor I've had to rip apart this year. What a major pain. Everything was so stuck on there. But on the plus side, the rods feel tight. Feels pretty fresh on the bottom end, so we're gonna let that roll. We'll do, these are 20 over pistons, so we'll go up, we'll do 30 overs. New rings, new hone. Get all the valves done here. And yeah, start again tomorrow and send out what I need to and go from there. So I wasn't able to get everything on video that I did, but just got everything back so we can see the reassembly. So here's the old barrels. Had these are now a max bore, or 30 over. Just resprayed them real quick, got them painted. And when I paint the barrels too, I'll take them outside and I'll heat them up with MAP gas to get them real hot. And then once they're real hot, I'll spray them. This is just a wrinkle finish. These were probably painted like 10 times before, so it's hard to spray them with gloss and get a nice finish, but the wrinkle will do for these. But here you can see the heads. Just got these all redone. New surfaced, everything's gone through. It's ready to go back together. I also missed when I bead blasted them. Before I give them to the head guy, clean them all up perfect so they come back looking like new like this. Rocker boxes are ready to go again. I had to do one repair down in here. Had a crack through it, so I just went over that. And here's the motor, same as how it looked before. I'm going to come back through and give it one more quick clean. Rescrape the surfaces one more time. Check for any debris or anything funny. Wristband bushings are already checked and good to go in here. Got our new piston kit. It's just a V-twin one, just cast. I usually like to run cast stuff for shovel heads. So yeah, we're going to start cleaning one more time. What I'll do on anything that's engine stuff, I already washed these in a, I don't know, solvent tank, like really good. Everything got washed. And then I'll come back through with acetone and clean the surfaces one more time to make sure they're squeaky clean. Blow through the holes one more time, any oil holes, and then we'll start assembly. So everything's nice and clean now. You can see I just keep all my acetone in a little bottle here. But barrels are ready to go together. Acetone on the top where the seals are going to go. Just keep it nice and clean. Pistons are done. What I'm going to do real quick is check the ring gap. The guy should have set it already, who fitted the pistons to the barrels, but I'm going to double check just in case. I'm going to look for, I don't know, I'd like it somewhere around like 15 to 20 thou ring gap. So I'll show you how I mic it out real quick. Okay, so how I do this is I'll take one of the rings, we'll compress it, get it seated just like that. I'll take the tip of a piston, just push it down maybe an inch or so. Right there. I'll do the same with this side. Get it started. When you use a piston, it keeps them pretty square because it's already fitted. You can do it by hand too, but sometimes it's just not as perfect. Now I'll take some feeler gauges. Let's see what I got here. Here's a 16th thou. That's perfect too. Okay. Try a 20th thou. So, as you can see, let me let it zoom, focus back in. So here's your piston ring. So all you do to check, you'll take your feeler gauge, squeeze it right in there. And every motor is going to change on what you want your ring gap set at. Most of these old ones are between like 15 and 25 thousandths in ring gap. But yeah, so now that that's checked, we'll get the pistons on and start assembling. So the top rings are squared on both sides, so those don't matter. It's the second compression ring that has the groove on it in this pack. So now that we're all in, what I do is I take every one and you do them 90 from each other. So second compression ring down there, first compression ring over there. And I do the same with this right here on the scraper ring. So this has 3 grooves. So, can't really do it on the camera, but I'll do the main slice and the scraper over here, and then 180 on both the rings. Alright, so one important thing to check before you tighten all your heads, take your intake manifold and sit it in there just to see, because you can tweak the heads just a little bit and it'll give it a perfect fit. So I already checked this and it fits perfect, but heads are back on, now it's time to tighten them up. When I do this, I do a star pattern and just crank them accordingly all the way around. wasn't able to record the rest of this. I had the customer on his way to pick it up, so I had to go real fast, and it's hard when you're making the videos. But here it is, all said and done. New barrels, or new hone barrels, new pistons. Heads are completely redone. Everything cleaned up. Got the rocker box repair done. One more side note. You guys do a lot of these with hydraulic lifters. They make this tool here. I don't know if we'll zoom on it, but it goes around the lifter spring on the hydraulic part of it, and once it compresses down to size, you know you're perfectly adjusted. But yeah, that's it for the shovelhead. Just going back to his home.